націю, червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо.
Amidst the grating sounds of distant warfare, President Zelensky has confirmed his nation's readiness as the long-awaited Ukrainian counteroffensive nears. The objective is ambitious, albeit fraught with danger: the liberation of territories forcefully occupied by Russian forces. "We are going to do it, and we are ready," the president told the Wall Street Journal, his voice resolute against the backdrop of the war in Ukraine. His unyielding determination, however, is not mirrored by the country's military arsenal. The Ukrainian army has not received all the weapons it hoped for, but Zelensky believes it's high time to act. His country needs more weaponry, specifically armored vehicles, before embarking on this critical mission. To protect its citizens from Russian airstrikes and defend soldiers on the front lines, Zelensky has requested additional US-made Patriot missile defense systems. In the realm of international relations and military strategy, timing is everything. For Ukraine, this moment signifies the start of a titanic struggle against a powerful adversary. But as the counteroffensive nears, the country is grappling with sky-high expectations from its allies and the international community at large. The challenge of making major advances against deeply entrenched Russian forces is, to say the least, daunting. While Ukraine has received considerable military aid from Western allies, the pressure is mounting for it to deliver results. As Bill Astor, a retired US Air Force veteran, wryly observes, "Sometimes war is sold like a consumer product, where there's a lot of hype and a lot of hope." But the reality often paints a grimmer picture. Even though Western armor, like Germany's Leopard tanks and American-made Stryker vehicles, are technologically superior, the strategic advantage might not swing in Ukraine's favor due to Russian forces' firm entrenchment along the 600-mile front line in eastern Ukraine. The Moscow drone attack video that went viral in recent weeks only added to the trepidation. As Ukraine prepares for the looming counteroffensive, its military strategy is under a glaring spotlight. Success is far from guaranteed and the stakes couldn't be higher. The campaign is expected to stretch until late fall, offering Ukraine a golden opportunity to prove its mettle against Russian forces. Yet there are daunting hurdles to clear. Lack of surprise that earlier aided Ukraine in Kherson and Kharkiv may no longer be an advantage. Military analyst Edward Arnold, a research fellow at the Royal United Services Institute, warns that Ukraine is in a race against time. The longer Russian forces stay entrenched in eastern Ukraine, the more likely the war turns static, making Russian occupation a fait accompli. But even the hint of a victory could be enough to keep the support flowing for another year. Navigating this precarious situation requires shrewd management of expectations. While the hype around the counteroffensive has been necessary to keep troops optimistic and secure the needed equipment, Ukrainian Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov has cautioned against being overly sanguine. The challenge is to strike a delicate balance between aspiration and realism to avoid the bitterness of potential disappointment. In the wake of the recent Moscow drone attack, that balance has become even more critical. As allies anticipate significant territorial gains, satellite images depict a grim reality. Entrenched Russian troops are scattered all across the front, especially around Crimea and the Zaporizhzhia region. Despite this, hope endures, fueled by the strategic potential of combined arms maneuver warfare that may give Ukraine a fighting chance. But as the White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby reminded, it's not just the stuff, it's the know-how and how to use that stuff in the field. Success in the upcoming counteroffensive, however, cannot merely be measured by territorial gain alone. Hein Goemans, director of the Peter D. Watson Center for Conflict and Cooperation at the University of Rochester, argues that any breakthrough of Russian lines should be deemed a victory. Such an accomplishment would be a clear demonstration that Ukraine refuses to be mired in a war of attrition. But this still won't guarantee the desired headlines. Political pressures also weigh heavily, especially with public support for continued military aid dwindling in the US and the 2024 election drawing near. Former President Trump touts himself as the candidate who can end the war in Ukraine swiftly, while his rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, questions the value of ongoing American military support. The anticipation of the counteroffensive has become a source of worry, not just for Ukraine, but also for the Biden administration. According to Politico, There is concern that a potential failure could give ammunition to critics who argue that Ukraine can't dislodge Russian forces. Such a failure could also anger politicians who clamored for more US weaponry, like long-range artillery and fighter jets. The stakes are incredibly high, and the weight of this offensive cannot be understated. Arnold aptly encapsulates the situation. Everything is riding on this offensive. You don't want to put too much pressure on them, but you can't help it. The world watches with bated breath, with the future of Ukraine hanging in the balance. Will Ukraine deliver the significant blow it so desperately needs? Share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching this episode of Warzone. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and follow our Twitter down in the description for more updates. Please enjoy one of these videos next, and we'll see you next time.